that's the tip.
Can you lot keep it down there, around there?
So we've got the logo here. We've got like these orange, we've got a blue, a green, an off-white and a black. Then we've got our primary palette will be this orange, and then we've got off-white. I love that orange, I think it worked well. And then we've got our secondary, we've got the blue, green and black, and the orange is the most prominent along with that white. And we've also got these pairings here. And then lastly, we've got the typography. We've got this denim ink.
So many days you hid the truth, praying for that moment and someone to believe in you. Get out your way, 'cause time won't wait for you. Live your life, live your life.
Had a meeting with John this morning, going over a few sites. Then we had a 9:30 with our Egyptian supplier where we import stone from, and then we had a catch up with Mr. Joe Diver, talking about personal brand and the system that we're going to sort of put in place to make sure that we're pumping out content, which we've agreed on about 3 posts a week. So we're excited to launch that and roll that out across my personal profile. And now we're going to see the architect to look at the master plan for some sites that we're working on.
Baby, oh, the world it seems a little as crazy.
I think what I would probably rather do, instead of getting it all, thinking that it's all bang on and offering on the site, time things into a contract, is actually a step before that is probably to engage a lot earlier than I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So we get a conceptual stage done, and at that point, then we go in for that first sort of initial consultation.
Yeah.
Because that's going to give us a real clear idea and sense of like density that people are comfortable with, as well as amenities and other aspects of the infrastructure what we want to put in there. You know, those people living on that estate there, to them to go out down into the Paddle Village is quite far, really.
Yeah, it's miles.
But it allows them to be able to walk over here to have a coffee, have a workout.
Yeah.
You know, connect into the landscape with show gardens, whatever we're doing now.
What we've got here,
So we've got actually 4 sites here.
Yeah.
So this was our Badsall Farm concept. This was our first one we worked with Michael on. Unfortunately, when we presented this one to the vendors, the people that had the listed house on the corner that owned the land were really up for it. But the old couple in the house next door didn't want to sell the orchard, although they wasn't using the orchard. So we've left that one in our corner for now. Then we moved on to a site, which is the one we're still working on. We're waiting for the trustees to come back to the land agent and give us confirmation. And this is our most recent one, which is 40 acres in a prime location. Area of outstanding natural beauty, got a lot of constraints on it, but you know, bringing forward something completely different and very sensitive to the location. So it's a big risk, but we're up for it. And in this one, we want to expand our current business where we was this morning. This is a new facility for that, combining our operating business, which is Corker, where we operate our stone storage, our loading of the lorries, deliveries, etc. Combine that with much bigger show garden space with amenity spaces. And so, like, you know, could be a restaurant, could be a little farm shop there. We're not 100% sure yet, but once that's all modelled out, you'll be able to see how it fits within that site, which would be cool.
Why do you like seeing it in the physical? What do you like about doing this?
I just think it's visually much nicer to see how that could work in that space. You know, like Michael said, it's all well and good just having a drawing to look at, but actually seeing it like this, you can get a real sense of the forms across that site.
Layouts.
Yeah.
Visualize it.
And, you know, it's easier to move around. Like you were saying, Michael, you know, like you built the wrong we built the roads into that site based off the previous character of the village. So it felt like a natural extension. And then, you know, they moved the models of the houses, the clustering around those roads that, you know, that came from the character of the village, didn't it?
Yeah.
Most developments will be imposed on an area, cause loads of disruptions, feel new. You know, they don't really bring much benefit to that area apart from numbers in houses, which, you know, obviously cancels housing supply and adds to that, but does really nothing. You know, there is a lot of developments that happen that rarely bring something beneficial to an area. And especially like infrastructure wise, I think that's probably one of the most sort of challenging requirements that the local community can really get annoyed about, really, can't they? Rightly so. You know, they stick in 100 houses and there's no infrastructure for a new GP practice, nothing like that. Even like managing water, you know, is there a way to manage water better and more effective on a site through natural methods? In beef. Can't disclose location. We're at a new location, a new site for our progressive concept that we showed in the last few videos. This one is all over the place, and so like we've got Michael, the architect we're working with on this one. He was doing like the master plan modelling. So we're just going to walk the site and sort of try and figure out where is best to place all our ideas and the concepts, where we don't ruin the landscape and is, you know, a lot more sensitive. As you can see, you know, as you pan across, it's very shitty.
Right.
It goes like this, look. I mean, it just looks like, I mean, if you stand over there and probably look back here, it probably looks equally as vertical, don't it? So I'd like to go over there. So I don't know. I mean, you can build them. You can easily build on stuff like that. It's just the cost of it, isn't it? Yes. You know, what I would love is like, you know, these lovely sort of dwellings across here, but, you know, connecting to amenity spaces, being able to flow down into that valley and, you know, connect into the landscapes. Okay, now sign me up, mate. I'm buying one.
Get up now. Place your feet on solid ground. Get up now. Friends
I would say probably the next
who's
sort
got you now.
best methods. So yeah, along here, around here, and maybe down into this dip a bit, and then keep that as like open landscape so people can drive in, also connecting here.
Yeah.
And out here it'll sprawl out into that
Yeah.
more vast landscape.
I wonder what like the views are like from over here and the older part down there.
That's some big houses, isn't there?
Does it help, Ollie, having tree lines already in place when it comes to planning?
Definitely. Well, I think for support from the people that live there, for sure. You know, if those trees weren't there, and you go and plonk a house there, then all of a sudden there's an obstruction to that view, isn't there? Whereas currently there's an obstruction to that view already. You know, and it's just being sensitive. Like, you know, imagine if he got planning for the 15 houses up there. I mean, they're 3-story them houses. It would have completely ruined any view, even for a car driving down there. You know, you drive down there in a car, you could probably just see over the brow of the hedge. But it's the same as these, mate. You know, like, and actually, you know, if this was all completely flat, you know, you are going to ruin views. But where it dips off a bit, you know, you are able to play to that. What's it called? Topography, is it? Topography.
We'll run with that.
Topography.
Go on, add it in.
Yeah, you know, we're able to design and design to the topography. I'll decide. So I definitely think round here, Michael, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the thing is around here is like, how far are you from access points? That's the thing. It's like, you like, in an ideal world, you link it. It's like, you don't make loops, right? So like this, you know, from here to here, there's
All
clear
like
stuff, right? But like, by the time you're coming to here, how are you? Is that just a one-way street? Is there any way to tie it in?
Yeah.
Because that's how you sort of extend a village, right? It stitches.
Connects into everything, yeah.
There was one, I remember in the plot, in the one you sent, there was like there's something here, right?
Mm.
I don't know what that is. And I've got, because that comes all the way to the edge of that land.
Yeah. Turn that down, get the old feet dry from walking on that site out there.
Yeah.
Where do you want me to go from?
Well, go from the start of the day, the calls we had.
Very hectic day, really. Start of the day, 9 o'clock, we had a call with planning consultant, going over a few sites that we're looking at. And then 9:30, Egyptian suppliers. That was an interesting call. Sorting out quality issues and quality checks and implementing processes our side to mitigate that on further orders. Then we had a 10 o'clock with Joe Diver talking about personal brand positioning and a system around being more effective with being consistent around our content that we're putting out and posting. So that's really exciting. We've got some really cool stuff coming with that. You liked it, Max, didn't you?
Mm.
You know, like all the stuff that we've been doing with yourself, with like videos and the images and stuff, creating them more into like, you know, a lot of editorial sort of thought leadership pieces, especially around the stuff that we're doing with the development in the more progressive concept that we're doing. Starting to create awareness around that idea and the mission we're on. And so when we start to have conversations with landowners or consultations with the local communities or the planning officers, whatever that is, we have a level of awareness around our brand and what we're doing. So that's the reasoning behind that, really. Then we had a management meeting at 10:30 for Corker to go over March numbers, which was all positive. And then we went from there to Michael, who's an amazing architect. I followed him for a few years. He was an architect in practice in London, moved down locally to us. Spent a few years following him and loving what he does. I just felt like he was very aligned with like the master planning and sensitive design that's needed in those areas where we're looking, especially in the rural setting. You know, we want that to feel like a natural extension of the village where we're doing it. And I love his process on how he models the sites out, you know, and gets a real understanding of like the character and the form of that local area. So I think it's great. And, you know, all that adds to our storytelling and the care and consideration and curation of that site. Then we went to our large site that we're working on. Another big one. Actually, I would say this is the new largest one we're working on. From the previous episode, the previous content we shot, it's another big one. So yeah, we're probably looking at around 60 houses, load of infrastructure, amenities to enhance and elevate that area. But very conceptual stage at the minute. Still running through ideas and what we're actually going to put on the site. You know, what is our offer? How we're going to engage early with the communities, try and get them on board with the ideas and what's needed in that area in terms of like feedback. So they come on that journey with us and they feel a part of it. And then we went from there after getting our feet soaked. And we went for a nice bit of steak frites at the Ragged Trousers, didn't we, Max?
Mm.
And now we're on the way home. Day's done.
Day's done.
Day's
Good day,
done,
though.
baby.
Long day.
Good day, long day.